Welcome to another episode of Idea Dream Home Season 5. Just like exterior, interior and lightings are two things that catches everybody's attention. So let me welcome our judges, Ernakulam, Arun Vidyasagar. Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anna, nowadays lighting has become an important aspect in design. So what is the current trend in lightings?
Okay, from an incandescent bulb to a tube light to a CFL light. Now we've moved on to the LED era. Before there weren't much choices. Now if you go to a shop, the first thing they might ask you is, do you want a warm light or a white light? Okay, that itself many people don't know that white light is that old tube light color, but nowadays we have lights with a little bit of yellow tinge. That's called the warm light. Now the advantage with warm light is it makes things a little more beautiful. You can hide defects with the warm light. White light is very exposing. So I would suggest if you like the warm light, we can use it in areas like the living room. You can dim it. It gives a little bit aura to the whole room, that this thing. And there are a lot of types of fixtures available from any kind of range. Nowadays the trend is people would put a false ceiling, put so many lights as if it would look like a showroom. You don't need that. We need to, there are different kinds of lighting. You need an ambient lighting, that will be the general light. You walk into a room, there is some light. You want to do some function like reading, you can have lights at specific points for that. In the kitchen, under the cabinet, you can give lights. There are a lot of fixtures and all that, but I would suggest in our bedrooms, for practical reasons, we do give both the lights. I would always recommend white light in the bedrooms, especially where you study, because I think the eye gets a strain trying to read in those warm light and all that. So you can give combine both kind of lights. There are a lot of fixtures, chandeliers. Many people I see would put a chandelier in the middle of the room. Which would be long. My suggestion would is put it to the corner, so it doesn't hinder, or you can put it in a courtyard or over the stairs. It has that enough room height for it to hang beautifully, and it can be viewed properly. It is a big subject, and there are a lot, and you should do a lot of market study before you go purchase things.
Okay, Arun, what's your idea?
Yeah, I have similar things to say. Lighting can be decided based on what colors are there in the room. For what I understand, warm colors generally respond easily to warmer shades, like wood browns, creams, red, yellows, all those things, and it tends to highlight their quality a little more. The white light spreads more and gives a better workable atmosphere ambience. It reproduces the color on a paper or something to the naked eye better than a warm light. So that's why in workplaces white light is preferred more. And warm light, you can use it as a combination of both to create a better suited light. In white light again there are two divisions these days available, the brighter white and a bluish white. So there are very small partitions in the lighting industry even, which deal to each and every requirement of lighting. There is something called optical fiber lighting that is coming up these days. They use very little amount of energy, current, and they create wonderful light effects. The chandeliers will be slowly replaced by the optical fiber chandeliers, which is coming up in the market. Though it's expensive now, it will surely come down. And then lighting, like she was selling, targeted, ambient, and workplace lighting. You can classify them into these criteria. Targeted can happen anywhere, like for a reading, for showrooms where you need to spot something really bright, etc. And ambient lighting is general lighting, the ambient amount of light which you need for moving around the house for general viewing. And then workplace lighting is targeted on the workplace. It is not a very concentrated light. It's a spread out light into a certain area, which makes you comfortable to work at whatever you are on.
So let's see the house for the day. That is wood house from Vanilla.
You may be wondering where I'm standing right now. Well, this house is built one story above. Welcome to Idea Dream Home Season 5. I'm standing as wood house in Chalkivattam. With that be flooring, the rooftop, walls, everything is just pine wood. And the best part is, it's quite easy and convenient to build such a thing. It took them around 15 days to install the whole setup. They have comfortable sit-outs areas in both sides of the entrance. The furniture, lighting, chandeliers, everything adds to the antique look. Also see a lot of windows, which provides proper ventilation inside. They've taken good care of the landscape. They have natural gardens going around the house, then the natural grass, stones, altogether gives a very impressive feel. Also the look outside, the visuals from around the house, you see the backwaters, very impressive. I like the look of the furnitures. They specially customized this to give it an antique look. Even the lights have an antique appeal attached to it. I'm really excited to check the interiors now. Let's go in. Of being hot and sunny outside. Well, one of the probably advantages of building the house on wood. The furnitures used are completely designed to give an antique appeal to it. Then they have provided with a lot of windows that helps in ventilation and light. It also acts as a family living space because opposite the TV, so it also works as a nice TV viewing area. Then to my other side is an open kitchen. Well, the kitchen is open and convenient. It's well connected to the dining area. They have used wooden cabinets above and below the granite slab. Then they also have a small work area. Then they have provided window right at the cooking space. So that provide ample ventilation scope. On this side they have wooden wardrobe with dressing area, also a small study table. Opposite to me is the bathroom, which also has a shower cubicle. So that was a unique and trendy wood house from Chalikuettam in Ernakulam district. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Till then, bye.
So let's hear the remarks from our judges. Arun, what about the exterior landscape, form and character?
See, I could see very little of the landscape. Whatever landscape is there, it's on the podium.
Okay.
And this is not a house that is commonly done in our country. It looks like a cabin probably imported from somewhere, from the western side of the world. They have these kinds of houses and it's done in pine wood, which is not common to us. Means we don't use pine wood so much because it cannot take the humidity in our climate.
Okay.
And it looks neat. It's like a cabin. So whatever we expect in a wooden cabin or something, we can expect here. It's located on a podium of RCC framework because it's near the river. On a note that probably the river floods during seasons, they might have been a little cautious about the wood structure and they raised it to a higher level. So that's what I answered. The landscape on the top part is very minimal. They don't have so much of landscape. They have kind of potted plants. And I could see even one tree kind of plant that was in a big pot. So I don't think that will grow for a long time. So they'll again have to get rid of that into the ground. So it looks neat.
And Anna?
The whole house looks like a log house that you see in the foreign countries. The house is elevated by one level. Okay? So you're at the level of the treetops.
Okay.
So it's somehow you feel there's more greenery just outside the building, but and I see a lot of pillars. I don't know if that many were required, and they have not used it. That doesn't look good at all when you're looking at the whole. If they had reduced the number of pillars, or they could have used it for water storage or something, because that's wasted space. They can't do. Then the house is unique. I see a green and white parapet wall all around it. That could have been avoided, or they could have just painted it in another color and all that. Exterior, I find the whole thing monotonous. The roof is the same color, the walls are the same color, the windows are the same color, the floor, everything. I'm looking for some sort of difference or some sort of accent. I'm not finding it. That uniqueness is there. We don't find anything. So that's very interesting.
Okay. Now coming to the interior. Flooring,
Interiors,
kitchen.
it is largely wood. It's a wooden house, so you can't expect anything more. Even the flooring is wood, the walls are wood, the partitions are wood, everything is wood. So it's a typical cabin, so I am not expecting any color. That's what I have to say. Then the furnitures are very simple. They are all brought in kind of furniture, and it's again cane and of that sort, very lightweight. Generally continued throughout. The ceiling is also again wood. Lighting is not done so greatly. It's not having any significant quality to the overall lighting. We see a couple of switch boxes and wires kind of outside. Doing a wood house is an advantage where you can take the wires through inside because the walls are not solid. You can always do that. They should have thought about that when they have this in mind.
The furniture, they've tried to bring in that wood theme. They've tried to create a barrel, a table out of a barrel and some seats out of it. But again, it's again wood on wood, so it doesn't stand out. The light fixtures, they're trying to bring it the traditional ones, but still I don't think much light because the whole thing is going to be dark. The switches again could have been concealed, proper planning, or they could have put another panel because that's very, the casing gap, it's making it look ugly.
Okay.
So the furniture, it's just placed, it's just bought in furniture. they could have tried some built-in furniture.
It's not very huge.
It's not.
The cabin is very.
The bedrooms are small. There's no side tables. When you are doing a vacation home, you would need a place for your luggage to be kept or something. Some provision should be there. Otherwise, you'll have to resort to putting it.
Coming to the color decor lighting.
The color is generally wood. There is nothing else to be specified on. We saw a couple of cushions that are not even open from the plastic bags. So
Okay.
that probably shows how much the house is used. And a lot of the decor is again eaten up by the wood. And generally it's just the same thing. And you have to go in a different mindset when you go to a house like this, because it is specifically
For the vacation.
made for a certain function. You cannot compare this to a regular house. So I think I will have to compromise my idea on the color and decor in this house.
Okay. And Anna?
Simple things. I saw a lot of small mats under every chair. Instead of that, if they had taken a big rug, that would have brought in the color, that would have brought in the texture. There was so much of a difference they could have done. At least in the kitchen backsplash tiles, going for plain white, it would have made a change. They had to do some tiling there, but then that's with again on the brown shade. One small thing that I liked is I like the kitchen. If you notice, there was a small pass through to the outside. So if you're entertaining and all that, it'll be easy to pass food and all that. So that was one thing. Bedrooms are quite small, but it's just basically done.
I would add something more. In years to come, probably they'll add stuff onto the wall. Like in a cabin, you might find an old rifle or a bow and arrow or something like that. All those stuff can go onto the walls and add to the life. Now it feels totally unused, very fresh, staying as it is. Means nobody probably is using it. Right? So, but once you start using it, you start bringing in collectibles, stuff which kind of relate you to the place. So then it will become livelier.
What about the overall ambience?
The ambience exterior on the outside would be better, because why? Because when you come out, you see the view at the very high level, directly onto the river that's flowing, and it's a nice view, and you have a good length of view into the river too. And there is some land space, artificially created platform land around the house where you can walk, and you can enjoy a bit staying outside in the chair that's out. And ambience is kind of okay. It's not strikingly interesting or very bad. It's just okay.
And Anna?
The fact that it only takes a few weeks to install this whole house, when you know the time that we take to construct a house, that I find it very interesting. It's a very novel idea. Decor wise and everything, there's a lot more. But if it's just a holiday home, just a weekend home, I'm sure it's okay, but nothing great about the looks of it. Practical side, yes.
Now Anna, what, your marks on exterior, landscape, form and character.
For the landscape is very minimum. The exterior, when you look at it visually, I told you that everything is the same material, same color. So I've given 15 on 25.
Arun?
See, I would like to consider this house in a special condition, that it is not a regular house. It's not built on the land. It's built on stilts, and it's got a different method of construction altogether.
Okay.
So I think I would have to put all these together and consider it in a different angle. Like it's not a permanent house, and it's had to be done like this for a purpose.
Okay.
So I think I'll give 18.
Okay. Now coming to the interior, flooring and kitchen.
Kitchen is small, and it's I like the pass through in it, but the colors and the materials I'm not too happy. The switches that are not concealed are not too great to look at. I've given them 16 on 25.
Okay. Arun?
Interiors are very basic. They have not gone for very complicated stuff. Not much color is there because of obvious reasons. Furnitures are complementing each other. They don't have a very loud character even to the furniture. Rooms are very small. Very minimal arrangement that is done. So I think on an overall I would give 18.
And now to the color, decor and lighting.
Color, decor and lighting, there isn't much color out here other than the woods color. I've given them 15 or 25.
What about you, Arun?
Again, it's very basic. They have not done experimented anything at all. Even if it's a cabin, they could have done a little more on the lighting to enhance the interior space. I would say they should have tried a little bit on changing at least one of the wooden walls to reflect some more light, which they have not done. Probably they can do it in some amount of time. And the decor is very minimal. There is hardly any fabric anywhere. So there is nothing that is connecting other than the general wood. So I would give 17.
And overall ambience?
Overall ambience, maybe on this higher level, it would be more windy, it would be more pleasant, the view would be nice. So when you're actually experiencing the outside of that house, it would be giving a good feeling. I've given them 17 or 25.
Arun?
The ambience is a kind of good, considering that it's not a permanent home. You come here just for the weekends or maybe for a vacation for the clients who came back down. It's a very decent house and they have enough ambient space around the building where you can access without even going down. So it's a different context altogether. So I would give 19.
So wood house from Vendala secures 63 from Anna, 72 from Arun and 34 from public. That makes a total of 169 out of 250. So that's all for now. See you in our next episode.